January 2026, a sea of faces, flashes from cameras. A man in a signature black leather jacket signs autographs on motherboards, graphics cards, even a woman's chest protector. He's not a rock star or a movie star. He's a CEO. His name is Jensen Huang, and his company, Nvidia, has just become the most valuable company on Earth, touching an astronomical $4 trillion. But this empire wasn't built in a gleaming Silicon Valley heat rise. It began in a booth at a Denny's diner, over cups of bottomless coffee. This is the story of how a dishwasher built a $4 trillion empire. Flashback to 1993, San Jose, California. Three friends, Chris Malachowski, Curtis Preem, and Jensen Huang, huddled together at a Denny's. They weren't tech titans then. They were just engineers with a wild dream to create a special kind of computer chip that could bring realistic 3D graphics to personal computers. A world then dominated by blocky, 2D pixels. For Jensen Huang, this was another step in a remarkable journey. An immigrant from Taiwan, he once worked as a busboy in a dishwasher right there at Denny's. His philosophy was simple. No task is too small to do well. Whether it was scrubbing plates or designing complex microprocessors, he believed in excellence. That work ethic, forged over a hot sink, would become the foundation of his future empire. Fueled by caffeine and ambition, they founded Nvidia. Their first big idea was a chip called the NV1. They poured everything they had into it. It was technically brilliant, using a novel approach called quadratic texture mapping. There was just one problem. While they were busy perfecting their unique technology, a small company called Microsoft was building an operating system called Windows 95, and Microsoft chose a different standard for 3D graphics, polygons. Suddenly, NVIDIA's revolutionary chip was incompatible with the future of computing. The NVI1 was a commercial disaster. No one bought it. The company was hemorrhaging money. By 1996, the dream was turning into a nightmare. Nvidia was on the brink of collapse. They had enough cash to survive for just 30 days. 30 days until bankruptcy. 30 days until the dream died. In a last-ditch effort, they had secured a contract to build the graphics chip for Sega's next-generation console, the Dreamcast. This was their lifeline. But as the project progressed, Jensen realized a horrifying truth. Their technology wasn't just behind schedule. It was fundamentally the wrong approach. They couldn't deliver what Sega needed. What happened next is the stuff of Silicon Valley legend. Jensen Huang had a choice. He could pretend, delay, and hope for a miracle, likely taking Sega down with him when Nvidia inevitably failed. Or he could do the unthinkable. He booked a flight to Japan. He walked into the office of the CEO of Sega, one of the most powerful men in the gaming industry. He looked him in the eye and confessed. "We can't do it," he said. "The chip we're building for you is the wrong strategy. You should work with a competitor." He had just killed his own company's only hope for survival. But then, he made an even more audacious move. He looked at the Sega CEO and said, "But I need you to pay us in full, or we will go out of business." Imagine the silence in that room. A young CEO admitting total failure, and then asking to be paid anyway. The Sega CEO was stunned, but he wasn't angry. He was deeply impressed by Jensen's radical honesty. He saw a leader who valued his partner's success over his own survival. In an act of incredible business acumen and trust, he agreed. He wired the $5 million. That money wasn't a payment. It was an investment in character. It was the miracle that saved Nvidia. With this new lease on life, Jensen didn't waste a second. He pivoted the entire company. He took that $5 million and funneled it into a brand new chip, one built from the ground up to embrace the polygon standard they had once ignored. This chip was called the Riva 128. When it launched, it was a sensation. It was 4 times faster than anything else on the market. It was a massive runaway hit. Nvidia was back from the dead, but the memory of those 30 days never left them. Since that crisis, an unofficial motto has echoed through the halls of Nvidia. Our company is 30 days from going out of business. It's a constant reminder that success is never guaranteed, and that fear, when harnessed correctly, is a powerful motivator. With their newfound success, Nvidia didn't just compete, they defined the industry. In 1999, they did something revolutionary. They took their graphics chip, added features for transforming and lighting, and gave it a new name. They marketed it as the GeForce 256, the world's first GPU, or graphics processing unit. It was a marketing masterstroke that separated them from the competition and cemented their place as the kings of PC gaming. For years, the GPU was synonymous with gaming. It was about making dragons look more realistic and explosions more spectacular. But Jensen Huang saw something more. In 2006, he made a bet that would confuse everyone. From his own engineers to the sharpest minds on Wall Street, he unveiled a new software platform called CUDA. CUDA allowed developers to use the immense parallel processing power of GPUs for tasks other than graphics. Suddenly, these gaming chips could be used for complex scientific simulations, financial modeling, and data analysis. Wall Street hated it. Analysts were furious. "Why are you spending billions on features for a handful of scientists?" they demanded. "You are a gaming company. Stick to what you know." For 6 long years, Jensen endured the criticism, pouring resources into a project that seemed to have no market. He was playing the long game. Then came 2012. A breakthrough in artificial intelligence research called AlexNet won a major image recognition competition. Its secret weapon. It was trained onto Nvidia gaming GPUs. It turned out that the architecture of the GPU's thousands of simple cores working in parallel was perfectly suited for the math behind deep learning and neural networks. It was the big bang of modern AI. Suddenly, the strange bet Jensen had made 6 years earlier looked like an act of genius. The CUDA platform he had patiently built was the only viable way to train these powerful new AI models. When ChatGPT exploded onto the scene a decade later, it triggered an AI gold rush. Every company on the planet, from tiny startups to tech giants, needed to build their own AI, and in this gold rush, everyone needed shovels. Nvidia wasn't just selling shovels. They were the only company in the world making the advanced high-powered shovels, the H100 and Blackwell GPUs that could mine for AI gold. Their years of investment in a niche scientific project had positioned them as the indispensable engine of the single greatest technological revolution since the internet. Through it all, Jensen Huang has remained a constant. His signature black leather jacket isn't just a fashion choice. It's a symbol of his philosophy, consistency, focus, a uniform that removes one small decision from a day filled with monumental ones. It's a reflection of a leader who has weathered unimaginable storms by staying true to his vision. He often says that success isn't about intelligence, it's about resilience, it's about character, it's about your capacity for suffering. From washing dishes at a Denny's, dreaming of 3D worlds, to staring into the abyss of bankruptcy, to betting the company on a crazy idea that no one understood. The story of Nvidia is a testament to that belief. It's a story of failure, honesty, and incredible foresight. It proves that in a world of constant change, the most valuable assets are conviction and the courage to endure. The story of Jensen Huang shows that the American dream, in its purest, most difficult, and most inspiring form, is still very much alive. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to subscribe for more.